Hey everyone, how's it going? Great to be back. Wanted to bring along Preston today to do this show with me, as he's been doing great during the playoffs for us over at DF Insider. He's be over at the War Room today. How you feeling about this slate, Preston?
Yeah, this slate, it's been a little interesting. We were feeling pretty good about it early in the day, and then just about 30 minutes ago or so, Joel Embiid was announced probable to play. He was doubtful earlier today and got moved to questionable, and now he's probable. So that's thrown a big wrench in things for us today. It'll influence this first game a lot, definitely. So it'll be interesting. There's a lot of uncertainty with it, but we really like the rest of the slate, and it's a fun slate with three pretty fun games and close spreads, with the game threes being in the away or the lower seed are have all the home games. So it should be a fun slate.
Yeah, we've enjoyed doing these playoff slates for you, and we'll continue today as always. And for in the Sixers Heat game, for most points, we have Ben Simmons, Goran Dragic, JJ Redick, and Dwayne Wade. What have you seen in your research today?
Yeah, so this one's really tough. With Embiid back, it obviously gives a hit to all the 76ers guys. So earlier in the day, I probably would have taken Redick straight up on this, but with Embiid back, it really makes things tough. We have Simmons, Dragic, and Redick all projected fairly close in points, and then Wade just slightly below them. But with the last game, Wade proved that he can go put up 28 again, and so this one's really tough. We'll obviously get to the other categories in a minute, but I think this is probably the category I'd multi-enter here. It's really tough. I mean, the game, it's a slower paced game. It's not super fast. With Embiid playing, Whiteside should also play more. So that's two defensive centers in the paint. So it's not going to be as many layups. I mean, this one's very, very tough for me. I think each guy could score between 12 and 20 points tonight. So I think if I were to multi-enter, I'd look at going like maybe Redick and Dragic, maybe Redick for two shares, and then maybe one of each of the other guys, or look at like two of Redick, two of Dragic, and then one of Simmons potentially. So, yeah, this one's really tough though.
Yeah, the point that Preston made, I mean, earlier in the day, you can just look at this category and be like, all right, JJ Redick, I'll move on. But now, I mean, there's just so much uncertainty. I think Preston nailed it when he said you got a multi-enter here. There really isn't just a favorite. Obviously, Dwayne Wade exploded last game, but can't expect that every game, especially his efficiency was incredible off the bench. Definitely recommend multi-entering with every pick Preston just suggested right there. In the rebounds category, we have Hassan Whiteside, Ben Simmons, Ersan Ilyasova, and Kelly Olynyk. I'm assuming we don't like Ilyasova much with Embiid back, right?
Yeah, so this one is one where the Embiid news kind of decides this category. Earlier in the day, it almost definitely would have been Simmons, because he's just been looking right at triple doubles all the time, and Whiteside just hasn't played at all. But Ilyasova and Olynyk, they're great players. They've been playing well, but they're not getting double digit rebounds. So I think we can rule out Ilyasova and Olynyk for this category. Olynyk's just not going to get rebounds. He's not going to get as many rebounds with Embiid in there, and Ilyasova gets a minutes and rebound rate dip with Embiid back. So this one, to me, it's close between Whiteside and Simmons. I think the contrarian move between the two would be Whiteside.
Yeah.
We have him projected well. He looks like a great DFS play with his price so low, but for Boom, you just need more rebounds. And this one, I think the safe pick is definitely Simmons here. He's been rebounding the ball well without Embiid. It'll be one of those cases where he takes a little hit with Embiid back, but I could still see him getting 10 or so rebounds. And Whiteside is the kind of guy where if he gets 25 minutes, he could get a double double, or he could play 18 minutes like he's been playing and get like 3 or 4 rebounds. So I think if you're going safety, Simmons is the pick, and if you want to be a little contrarian, have a little GPP upside, I'd look at Whiteside with the minutes he should get against Embiid.
Yeah, I kind of like the bold Whiteside call you're talking about. We saw how well Whiteside played against Embiid during the regular season. We know those two have some beef. In Miami, it kind of makes a lot of sense. No matter how many minutes Embiid plays, I mean, if he gets 30, maybe we look for Whiteside to have 30. I mean, we see he's averaging 11.4 per game. Most people are just going to ignore him because he hasn't really played much in the playoffs, but there's been no reason for him to play. Um, I kind of like him here. I think Simmons is a terrific play as well, and the other two can kind of just be ignored. For most assists, we have Robert Covington, Goran Dragic, James Johnson, and Dario Saric. What stands out here?
This one, I mean, to me, it's really easy. I don't fully understand why three of these guys are here. I think the obvious pick is Dragic here. He's the only point guard. The other guys aren't even really guards. They're all forwards. Dragic, we're looking at like 5, 6, 7 assists for him. And the other three, like you can even look at the assists per game number at the bottom there, and it's like Dragic averages 1.2 more than Johnson, and then over 2 against the other guys. So I think this one is the one where you just pick Dragic for any contest you enter and kind of just move on here.
Yeah, I can't argue with you there. There's just no reason to pick Dragic. He's a little like Kemba, where he just plays really well at home as well. I think he's got, this is a game where Miami kind of has to win. Although we do like the Sixers to win this game, I think it's going to be a close one. Really like the Dragic pick there. We got an interesting guy for points here. Kind of shocked to see Dwayne Wade on here. We were talking to him a bit earlier. He put up 28 last game, somehow, some way, I'm pretty sure. What are you thinking tonight?
Yeah, this one's interesting. Like you said, he went off last game, but he did shoot 11 of 16 from the field and got, I think it was 8 free throws. He doesn't shoot that well often, obviously, as no one does, and he hasn't gotten that many free throws in like a little over a month. So his usage was massive in that game. We don't really know why, but yeah, this one's it's going to be an interesting one. I'd definitely project him to come back down to earth this game. I'd be looking at maybe 11 to 15 or so. I think if he takes 15 shots and makes 7 of them, he's looking at 14 or so points. So maybe 11 to 15, maybe a point or two more, but not too far off that range.
Yeah, I really like that range there. I was thinking maybe the honestly 12 to 16, 13 to 17 range.
Yeah.
We're not far off at all, which makes me feel even more confident about that. I wouldn't expect him to do what he did last game. Like I said, the efficiency was just incredible. So just play a little safe there. Don't put him over 18, I would say, is the highest I'd throw him there. Yep. We'll jump into the next game where we have the Pelicans and the Trailblazers. Pelicans off to a 2-0 lead. And it's mostly been due to the guy who's first listed in our points category, Drew Holiday. We also have CJ McCollum, Nikola Mirotic, and Jusuf Nurkic there. Do you think Holiday gets this, or do you have someone else?
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting as well. I think we're mainly looking between Holiday and McCollum here. Nurkic, his minutes have been down. He doesn't get a good matchup with Davis, and he doesn't play well defensively against Anthony Davis. So he's kind of been almost flushed out of the rotation. He's playing around 20 minutes or so a game, and I just think I don't see him scoring many points over 15 or so. Mirotic, you're looking at 15 to 20 or so. I think he'd have to just catch fire from 3 and take a bunch and make a few to eclipse both Holiday and McCollum. Those two are the guys that I'm looking at more. I think for me, I'd personally pick CJ McCollum. I think with Drew Holiday defensively against Lillard, he's making it really tough on Lillard. And we saw last game, McCollum outplayed Lillard straight up from a stats perspective. And I could see that happening again, really. I have them both looking at around 20 points or so. And though Holiday just went off scoring wise last game, I think he may defer a little bit to Mirotic and Davis again, and just continue focusing on his defense against Lillard, because Damian Lillard's a great player, but he's he and Holiday's gonna have to have a lot of his attention on Lillard for him not to go off. So I think really you can multi-enter between Lillard or McCollum and Holiday. So if you want to, I think it's kind of just a gut call. We haven't projected fairly close, but yeah, it's a toss-up between those two for me.
Yeah, another one of those tough ones. I kind of like Holiday here. Personally, I think Damian Lillard is the type of player to put it in his own hands to win Portland this game, because they're in deep trouble if they don't win this game. which will take away from McCollum's game a little bit in my mind. And Drew Holiday's just been terrific. He's been putting matters in his own hands. So for me, I kind of like Holiday, but it's really hard to pick against CJ McCollum for just the points category when the guy can score, 25 in 2 quarters if he really wanted to. For most rebounds, we have Anthony Davis, Alfred Gaminu, Nikola Mirotic, and Yusuf Nurkic. Do you think Anthony Davis wins this easily, or is someone going to challenge him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason not to take Anthony Davis here. He has, I mean, 20 rebound upside, and you're looking at Aminu, Nurkic, and Mirotic, who you're looking, they may get 13 or 14 tops, unless it's just a completely abnormal game. I think Anthony Davis's average projection is looking similar to the other guy's floor or ceiling. So I'd go Anthony Davis and just move on here.
Yeah, not even going to touch on that even more. We'll
Yep.
just go Anthony Davis. For assists, we have Holiday, Lillard, McCollum, and Etuan Moore. What do you see here?
Yeah, for assists in this game, if we would have gotten Rondo, that would have been just a lock. But with him
Yeah.
not being there, I think we're looking between Holiday and Lillard. Like we are saying with the points category, if it were anything other than only points, we wouldn't really be looking at McCollum. We have him looking at like 3 or 4 assists. He's just not a he's more of just a pure scorer than assist guy. Lillard and Holiday, they're not huge assist guys, so it'll be interesting to see between them. Lillard's been playing very poorly with the Holiday defense, but I think if he kind of just takes control at any point, a lot of focus will be on him, and I could see him getting 7 to 9 assists tonight. Like I said earlier, if Rondo was here, we'd pick him, and that hurts Holiday. He doesn't get as many assists as he potentially would on another team because Rondo just gets 12 to, I mean, he had 17 assists in the first game, I think. So I think for me here, I'm looking at Lillard. But if you wanted to multi-enter, you could go maybe 3 shares of Lillard and 2 of Holiday or something like that.
Yeah, I might stick with Lillard here, just because of our love for Rondo tonight. I mean, he's a must-have. I don't want Holiday doing anything other than scoring, honestly. I just like the correlation. I mean, if I'm thinking Lillard has a great game, then scoring wise, that'll take away from McCollum scoring points, and then I mean, assisting it's really tough here. It's hard to justify one way or the other, but Lillard's got 30-10 upside, where I don't see Drew Holiday having 30-10 upside. That's where I go there. And then again, we really love Rondo tonight, so it's kind of hard to pick Holiday to get a lot of assists as well. And then we have the guy I hate seeing most on points, which is Anthony Davis. Should I project him for 45 or?
Man, this one's tough. I wouldn't go that high, but yeah, this one, it's going to be interesting. The first 2 games of the series, he had 35 the first game and then just went for 22 the second game. So he hadn't been consistent from a points perspective, and I know we had plenty of instances earlier in the year where it was just Anthony Davis was the points projection every night, and it was like he'd score 50 a game, and it's like you can't realistically project him for that every night.
Yeah.
For me, I'm looking around maybe 30 points or so as a base average. I think he doesn't just destroy the Trailblazers like he did with other teams. Nurkic is a good defender, and though he may not see a ton of minutes, he should be out there a decent amount of time. Anthony Davis is there, and then they have guys like Ed Davis and Aminu, who are both pretty good defenders. So I don't see him going for over 40 tonight. Really, I'd probably go 28 to 32 for the points projection, but it's obviously going to be very tough always to project Anthony Davis's points.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna take a shot at it. So just stick with what Preston said. I'm done with Anthony Davis. We'll jump to the Golden State Spurs game, where we have Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge, Klay Thompson, and Rudy Gay for points. Is Kevin Durant still your favorite here?
Yeah, I think so. We can probably just eliminate Rudy Gay from this. We like him a lot for DFS, but his price is just way lower than the rest of these guys. Aldridge, he played well last game, didn't play very good the first game, but I think Durant's one of the best players in the world, and I just just don't see any reason not to pick him. I think it would take either just Durant going ice cold from the field for Aldridge to win, or Clay going and scoring like 40 or something like that for him to win this category. I think Durant probably wins this 7 times out of 10, so he's my pick here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take my chances with Durant for the exact reason you just stated. Just a heavy favorite there. We do know Klay Thompson could put up over 20 and a quarter, as he's done many times in his career. But I mean, you really got to like Durant. I expect San Antonio to keep this pretty close, playing with emotion over what's been going on. Unfortunately, with what happened to Popovich's wife. But if I mean, which to some means, I mean, will definitely enhance their playing. But I think Kevin Durant has 35 point upside here, which makes me like him a lot more there. For most rebounds, we have Aldridge, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, and Paul Gasol. Anything standing out to you?
Yeah, I think the main thing that stands out here is probably we can just eliminate Pau Gasol. His rebounds projection are just flat out lower than the other guys. Between Aldridge, Draymond, and Kevin Durant, it's going to be tough. They're all good players. They'll rebound the ball pretty well. Durant, we like him for scoring a lot, but that doesn't mean he can't put up just put up 10 or so rebounds. I think Aldridge probably has the rebounding upside here. He played well last game. He had 12 rebounds. He had 34 points and 12 rebounds. So I know he plays Golden State well. So if I choose one guy here, he'd probably be my pick. With Draymond, he'll get you 7 to 9 rebounds or so on average, and kind of the same with Durant. I think Aldridge has the best opportunity to get double-digit rebounds here. I think if you wanted to multi-enter this, you could go 2 or 3 shares of Aldridge and then like one of Draymond and Kevin Durant. But if I'm choosing one, I'm probably going Aldridge here.
Yeah, I think Aldridge is going to be our safe pick there. If Draymond Green can stay out of foul trouble, we've liked him this whole series. But yeah, foul trouble's been the issue. So I do think he has the upside there. Counterpart ways. I mean, if Green does get in foul trouble, that'll probably increase Durant's rebounding upside, especially if McGee doesn't play. But yeah, I think Aldridge is going to be your optimal play here. And then if you are multi-entering, I would definitely get a share or two of Draymond Green. For the assist category, we have Andre Iguodala, Pau Gasol, Patty Mills, and Klay Thompson. Kind of a really ugly category.
Yeah.
Do you feel strongly about one over the other?
Yeah, this one's almost kind of annoying because each guy we have projected at like 2 or 3 assists. So the margin of error is not going to be big at all. It's really tough to like confidently just say one's going to have more assists than the other. I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with Iguodala. He's been the point guard. He started at point guard the past few nights without Curry playing, and I think he's gotten 4 or 5 assists in each of the last 2 games. So I think he's probably got the most upside, I guess if you want to call it that, to get assists tonight. I think he's probably your best bet at 5 or so assists. None of these guys play huge minutes other than Clay, but he's not a big assist guy, as you can see with the averages. He only averages 2.5 a game. So I think really with Iguodala starting at point guard, he'll have the ball in his hands a decent amount compared to these other guys. He's probably my pick here, and just moving on with this category.
Yeah, this one's just really, really ugly. I'm not too confident in either. Like, if I was entering, I might just get a share of all of them just in case.
Yeah.
Don't feel comfortable telling you to go with an optimal pick here. So yeah, if you're gonna play this game, I would definitely multi-enter and get one of everyone. And lastly, we have LaMarcus Aldridge for points. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm looking at maybe 25 or so here tonight. They're back in San Antonio, so he'll get a bump from the home road splits. He like I said, he played very well last game. He put up 34 points, so I think he definitely has upside in this game. But I think a safe projection is probably 25 or so. He showed it the first 2 games that he can put up. I think it was 14 the first game and 34 the second game. So he hadn't been consistent either, but I think going with that 25 range or so 23 to 27 is probably where I'd go for just the optimal projection.
I think that's a pretty good call. I was gonna say 22-26, so it sounds like we're on the right page right there. Gotta like him a little more at home, like we said. I do expect this game to be pretty close. Maybe not come down to the wire, but I'd say San Antonio stay within 8-ish. If I had to give it a projection there, but yeah, that'll cover everything for these games. Preston's about to hop back into our war room and get ready for the slate that starts in 30 minutes. Is there any last words you wanted to say?
No, we're ready for the slate. We've been researching since late last night, so we're ready for it and we're excited. We should have a few really fun games to watch. And yeah, we'll be over in the war room preparing anybody for the DFS slates tonight.
Absolutely. Good luck, everybody, and hope you enjoy watching the playoffs.